4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, it's HuskyUnit again with another Pyro gameplay. This time we're playing on Payload Upward on Defense, and I believe I run the Degreaser, Flare and Homewrecker to start with, even though I don't do anything with the Homewrecker, and then switch to the Extinguisher later. You might have also noticed that I was late coming out of spawn. That's because I exploded for our engineer, who's Edu, a friend of mine. I do that because it gives the engineer 100 extra metal during setup, which people don't seem to do very often, when they really should. Anyway, in this gameplay I'll be talking about a few things. I'll talk about the Phlog, which I meant to talk about last time, a few other things to do with balance in TF2, and commentate a bit on the gameplay, mostly on spies and how I detect them and deal with them. There's an example here really early on. You'll see in the kill feed in a second. The player CPC, I think it's CPC, gets killed twice. So I know one of them must be a disguised spy on their team, so I just quickly flamethrower around and find them. There's a bit of a gap here before the next spy bit, so I'll talk about Phlog for a bit. If you don't know, the Phlog is a new weapon which has the base stats of the flamethrower, except it has no air blast. And after doing a certain amount of fire damage, you get to taunt, which restores all your health. You get a damage reduction like the Dead Ringer, and it does crits. So there's two aspects to the Phlog that need to balance with each other. There's the charging, how long it takes and how difficult it is, and the use of the charge and how powerful it is. So let's start with the building charge. If I remember correctly, it's around 200-300 damage to get full charge with flamethrower. I am not entirely sure on that, someone will probably correct me. But the charge for it is honestly really minor and very easy to get if you're playing passively with the flare gun or the detonator. So let's talk about the charge itself. The charge has two parts. The first part, you taunt, you regain all your health, and it has Dead Ringer like damage reduction. And the second part is where you get full crits for about 10 seconds. This is the part where I start to get into my own little opinions on the matter, but I don't think they're super controversial. I think the start of the taunt, where you get your health back, kind of defeats the point of the Phlog. To me it seems like a support passive weapon until you get the charge, and then once you have the charge you can be aggressive. But the health and damage reduction kind of allows Phlog Pyros to be aggressive the entire time. Honestly, the damage reduction is fine in my opinion, that's okay. Just the full health is not so good. It rewards Phlog Pyros for constantly being reckless and aggressive, which is not the way I think the Phlog should be played. Like if you take the Degreaser loadouts like the Flare, Extinguisher, Reserve Shooter, all of them offer a high burst damage but at a significant time cost. Like the Extinguisher, you have the time of getting close to them, and also the swing time. Flare gun has a long recharge time but high burst damage when you do hit. Reserve Shooter, only free clip but you have to reload. So that's what the Pyro is in my eyes, and the Phlog seemed to be a way of giving the Pyro a similar playstyle without having to rely on secondaries and the Degreaser. You know, the high burst, but you have to wait for it. So basically, yeah, if they got rid of the full health, Pyros would be forced to play support with the Phlog until they have the charge, and then they can play reckless. That's my opinion on the matter. I know it's been kind of a hot topic on the Pyro boards on Steam forums, so I thought I'd chip in on my little thoughts. But that's enough about the Phlog. Back to the gameplay. There's a spy bit coming up where I noticed a spy without having to flame. Just here you'll see that there's a spy and a Pyro running next to each other. You'll notice the spy sort of noticed and tried to go behind the Pyro to make it look like he was chasing him. But it was a bit late. I already noticed that they were running together as a team rather than him chasing the Pyro. As a Pyro, I don't often flame around randomly to look for spies. It just seems like a waste of time when I could be focusing on other things. I just try to look for those subtle hints like before. Occasionally if I know I'm in a sort of safe area like this, usually, except the demo man behind us, I'll puff teammates, but I don't puff in the air very often at all. There's another spy bit here where Pyro gets backstabbed by that spy. Basically, anyone who comes out of that shed must be that spy. He does the turn around quite subtly, but I find the spy. You'll see that I chase after the spy here. Normally, half the team chases after a spy for some reason. So if there's someone else chasing a spy, I normally leave them to do it. As long as they're on fire, I'm happy, and someone else would deal with it. Man, I just realised how sort of ambivalent and uncaring I am about stuff at times. Like, people seem to love chasing down spies, but I just just leave them to it. And back in the day when I first posted on the Steam forums for Pyro, I used to get really into arguments, really aggressive, and telling people why they're wrong, but I sort of stopped caring recently, you know. People have their own opinions and whatever. If it's different than mine, it doesn't make much of a difference. Just deal with it, I guess, you know. Like, there's a lot of topics going on in forums which I do have an opinion on, but I don't really care to argue about it. I know if I share my opinion, it's just gonna get sucked into a big argument. What is there? There's Pyro should be able to stop Ubers and off. Honestly, in pubs, I don't think Uber is that big a deal, so it doesn't matter that much. In 6 versus 6, you're losing a lot of firepower just to stall an Uber for a bit. I don't know about 6 versus 6, so I don't play it, so not that big a deal to me. Oh, there's a clip coming up soon that I love, and it explains why I just love playing Pyro. That ridiculous, you know, flare, reflect, flare. You can't do that with other classes. Just so much fun to pull off dumb stuff like that. But yeah, that's why I love playing the Pyro. Well, this on the other hand is why I hate playing the Pyro. Just when everything goes wrong. Okay, if I was any other class, that would have been an easy quick kill, but I was just being dumb, missing stuff. I'm quite inconsistent as Pyro. And that was my opinion on the Pyro summed up in 30 seconds. Yeah. Oh, this bit is just horrible. Yeah. I think if they got rid of the player and play Pyro. Oh, this bit. Demo man with the caber, Pyro with extinguisher, trying to hit the heavy, and just hit each other constantly. I found that amusing. What other topics are there? There's extinguisher, I guess. That's always a topic that's going on. Did I talk about? No, I did talk about extinguisher last time. Never mind. Just to recap on my opinion. Maybe a little overpowered, but not game-breakingly overpowered. I cannot remember what you guys talk about on the forums. Recently, half of it seems to be troll threads, and the other half seems to be Phlog threads. It doesn't seem very productive at the moment. Oh, I remember a while ago I was considering starting a thread where we posted our own demos of gameplays and we critiqued each other's play. I don't know if people would be into that. I don't know how we would decide who can critique either. I don't think, no, we should be elitist about who's good and who's bad at Pyro. I don't know. I think if people are open to reviewing, they should be allowed to, and vice versa, you know. If you want to be reviewed, you can. I don't know. I thought it was an interesting idea. Maybe people might want to try it. I don't know. I'll mention it in the forums as well, because half of you won't watch this. I've been super rambly this video. I don't know, I enjoy it. I just like talking casually. And it's not like I'm talking about nothing. I'm actually talking about, you know, Pyro related stuff. Like, I don't get why commentators will just talk about their day or completely random topics in commentaries. Just never understood it. So I'm just trying to stick to the Pyro. So I should really go back to the point I was trying to go on about, which was spy checking. Another way of maximizing my spy finds, I guess, is taking the lesser taken routes, like the underneath routes or the roundabout routes. You see that I constantly like patrol on this map, for instance, down here, go up the stairs, check the room overlooking here, go back down and repeat. Spies normally go that route, so it works for me. And on a lot of maps there are like areas that you can constantly patrol, especially on attack defense or payload defense, you know, to constantly deal with threats like flanks. So a lot of people seem to cover main route, but they just leave flanks open. while I love dealing with flanks, it's, as I've talked before, it's the more one-to-one fights in flanks which favour my playstyle and Pyro in general. I took the voice comms off when I was recording this video, but at this point I made the call that an engineer was building down here, so I make sure there's no sentries and take out the telly, and I decided to go for the entrance telly. Unfortunately, it doesn't go brilliantly because I get seen by like 3 people who are now all chasing me, and I feel bad about going to spawn because I feel spawn campy, and I get lucky crits on the medic, which feels bad as well. Feels super bad. Yeah, I hate going to spawn. Take out the telly though, and hopefully no one else is actually spawn camping. I don't know if anyone else gets super crazy about spawn camping. Most people seem to not mind doing it every once in a while, but to me it just feels really bad. I think it would be alright if the spawn windows were one-way mirrors, so you couldn't see into spawn but people in spawn could see out. I don't know if people would agree, but I think that would make spawn camping acceptable to an extent, since it's not a surprise if you know that there's someone there. You can assess the threat and just decide to change class if you need to. Oh wow, I just got reminded of another reason why I feel bad playing TF2 sometimes. This is going to be the HuskyUnit confessional video, where I admit to all my fears and my wrongdoings. But I feel bad for WM winning. I know I shouldn't. Jim's made a thread on it recently, and I know it's perfectly viable. But I feel bad when I miss my flare, and I miss with my extinguisher, and I miss the reflect, but I still get a kill just by holding M1. And it's nothing to do with thinking that I'm using less skill than other classes by, you know, flamethrowing. It's just the fact that I'm missing everything else and yet I'm somehow still getting the kills. I just hate it. It's the reason why I have a strange flare, but I don't have a strange degreaser. I'm proud of my flare kills, but I'm not proud of my degreaser kills. Somewhere out there, a pyro is tutting at me. Just that using the flamethrower is not why I like the pyro. As I said before, I like the dumb stuff, flares and reflects. If degreaser countered reflect kills, I would love it. I would buy one immediately. But as it is now, it just does not appeal to me. I think at this point in the gameplay, I tried to take my usual route. They've got a sentry up there, which, you know, kind of kills my whole playstyle. And then they've got an Uber, and there's everything, and inevitably we I'll spoil it, we've lost. You can work out from the time. But yeah. That's the end. They do trying to build something, but you're screwed. Yeah. I hope you've enjoyed this commentary. Once again, a bit different from what I normally do. Still getting into the swing of things, but I like how I'm doing it now. You know, not more casual, and it's fun for me to do, and hopefully still informative. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next video. Ta-ra!